When a young fan made contact with Russell Westbrook from his courtside seat. Russ clearly did not appreciate being touched by a fan, but kept his cool when he saw it was a little kid and instead offered a brief teaching moment to the young boy and his father. But after the game, Westbrook was clearly still bothered by the incident. Take a listen.
He hit me, so I told his dad, just be careful, man. You can't have your son just hitting random people. I don't know him, he don't know me, so just let him know, just gotta control your kids. For all the fans, though, it's too much leeway, man, for the fans to be able to touch the players and get away with it, and then we can't react, and do the things that we need to do to protect ourselves. What I'm gonna do, hop in the stands, so, but it's gotta be some type of rule or some type of boundary set that you can't allow that.
Ooh. All right, I was pretty surprised when I saw the video. So, Shannon, what is your take on the situation?
Russ is absolutely right. The close proximity, no professional sports is as close as NBA basketball.
Nothing like it.
I mean, because in hockey, you got the glass, and the football, you got the stands, and whatever. So nothing is like this. Nothing is like this.
Even golf, you do have ropes, right?
Right, and you got marshals standing. But
this is the one where you can literally sit in your seat and reach out and touch.
Right, because there have been times, Skip, you see when they take the ball out of bounds on the side, that the official will ask the fans to step back because the guy doesn't have any room to be out of bounds.
Yep.
He's absolutely right. Russell didn't know at the time that it was a child. And then once he realized it was, he used it as a teaching moment.
Right.
I'm not so sure he would have reacted the same way had it been an adult, because he's had an incident before with a fan in Utah. And Russ is absolutely right. Look, they should have asked the father and the son to leave the game, because players cannot.
I think the mom is there too. It looks like so it'd be all
of
three
them.
of them.
All of
them. At that point, yes.
It looks like it's the mom.
Because guess what, Skip? Players can't go up in the stands. Because you don't want another malice in the palace.
Nope, you don't.
So, well, it's just a child. No. And I don't want to hear this about they make millions of dollars. And no, you don't go to a game to be able to say what you want and to be able to touch a player. It's fine. Everybody thought that was fine and good until guess what, Skip? Remember Monica Seles? She lost her life. She was never the same player after that incident.
She got stabbed in the neck.
Russ didn't know his intention. All he knows is somebody touched him. And he knew it wasn't an NBA player and it wasn't an official. So now his reaction is he turned around and then he realized it was a kid. He used it as a teaching moment. But come on, parents, you know better. It would be the same if somebody walked up to you and you in the street and somebody put their hands on your child and touched you. Like, hold on, you don't know my child. I don't know you. No, you don't pay. And people, they have this notion. Well, I paid all this and the seats probably cost $1,000. You pay to be close to the action, not to be a part of the action. Don't touch the players. You didn't pay for that. Yell and scream, and that's the problem that I have, is that fans think because they pay an absorbent amount of money that they can say whatever they want, they can do whatever you want. But no, you don't want another malice at the palace. Teach your kids how to go to a game, enjoy the game. They don't get it right because you paid $5,000 or $10,000 for front row seats to be able to touch the players. You should feel like you can. It's kind of like 3D. You like the action is like right there upon you, and it actually is, but you don't become involved. You don't put your hands on the players, because Russ didn't know that was a child until he turned around, and then he reacted. But I can assure you, if that would have been an adult, he would have got a very different response from Russ.
Quick point of order. I'm not sure how old this child really is, because at first I thought 8-ish, and then the more I look at his face, he might be 12-ish or like 7th grade.
He's old enough to know.
Right?
Agree.
Old enough to know. And I sit back and I say, I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to rack my brain. Can you remember ever any fan touching a player in a game? Because I don't remember any.
No. Not actually.
I think this was a first. I think it was a first. Seriously.
I'm surprised it doesn't happen more. Skip,
I agree.
Remember NBA Finals when back in the 80s, when he used to storm the court? I'm surprised more things didn't happen bad then. Because you see Larry Bird one year, he's shoving people out the way trying to get off the court.
Okay, well, you're talking about Indiana State?
No. In Boston, the guard.
okay, 'cause
remember they beat the Lakers in Game 7.
Well, do you remember the game to get to the Final Four for Indiana State against Arkansas? He just decked one of his own fans who ran on the court and tried to get up in his face.
Yes.
He decked him.
Yes.
And those days, no internet, he got away with it, okay? So here's the point. The kid, he just lost it for a second. I don't know if he's a video game product of, product of video games where he thinks you're in a video game and you can do whatever you want to do. but he was actually taking a swipe at the opposing star. Am I right?
Right.
Okay.
He wanted to tell his friends, I touched Russell Westbrook.
Well, I don't know that I think he was pushing him.
Yeah.
Wasn't he taking a little swipe at him?
It looked like he's obviously a Denver guy, so
Yeah.
he's trying
He's
to get
got
in
a
his
Nuggets
way.
shirt
He's trying
on.
to get in his way.
Okay. All right.
Disrupt
so
him.
he's sort of going after the opposing player, and you can tell your friends, look what I did to Russell Westbrook. That's just crazy, man.
Yes.
That's gone completely over the edge.
Yes.
Now all bets are off. And I appreciated the fact that Russell handled it just beautifully because, remember, he now has a 2-year-old son, and they just had twin daughters. So he is a father.
Yep.
He seems to
He's a
really
man,
be
yeah.
embracing fatherhood.
Yes.
So he tried to use it as a teaching moment for father and son.
Right.
The one thing he's got to watch, he put his hand down on the kid's knee, right? To say, okay, you got this sort of thing. And again, the liability in this day and age, you can get sued for that.
Right.
They could say it was psychologically damaging to our child or whatever, because you can sue anybody for anything.
You can.
So you just have to keep hands off.
Yes.
So now we've got a physical touching.
Right.
The verbal has been very interesting because today's players, unlike the players from your age, you were taught, I've always heard through all my years of covering sports, no rabbit ears, just tune, what's the old thing? Sticks and stones can break your bones, but words can never hurt you, okay? Well, I've always said, no matter what they yell, these players today, especially these NBA players, they are taking a stand against verbal abuse when it goes to inward abuse or
absolutely.
mother
Talking
insults.
about my mom,
right?
yes. Or you got a wife or something like that, absolutely.
So
yes.
I do appreciate that because I used to think, and this is what I live by, if I'm out and somebody's yelling at me, I just tune it out, just go on.
Right.
Head up, eyes up, go on, right? Because you can't win that, right? You can't, there's nothing you can really do to go get in their face and win it. So you go on. But these players today, starting with Russell Westbrook, he's starting to say, I'm not going to take that, right? You got the Utah thing. I'm not going to take that.
Right.
So now they're singling out a fan for verbal abuse and telling the ushers or the security people, out.
To ask your question, in baseball, the ball's coming down the line. You grab the baseball, but you fall out of the stands. What do? They ask you to leave. If you
interfere with the baseball.
Yeah.
Okay. No, they do.
Once you come out the stands, you got to go. Okay. He touched Russ. He left his seat to touch Russ. I can get it. When Russ, if you're trying to brace yourself, Russ is coming and you're trying to move out the way, you're like, oh, don't follow me. I get that.
Yeah.
But to stand up out of your seat and to touch the guy, you got to go. Family, I'm sorry, but those are the rules.
It was surprising.
Well, the booing would have ensued in Denver if you had taken 3 Denver fans from the front row, including the kid, and ushered them unceremoniously out of the arena.
It wasn't unceremonious.
I know.
You know why you're getting ushered out?
I know, but you know what else I looked for? The boy didn't seem too apologetic. He didn't say like,
he
I'm
didn't
sorry.
at all.
He wasn't surprised, and the father didn't either.
Hey, the father and the mom were just laughing. Laughing. Like they thought it was funny.
Yeah, they think it's cute.
Real cute.
That's what worries me, that if that's the reaction
You gotta
that
have
we're getting,
boundaries.
you should be
We got
embarrassed.
boundaries. We got boundaries. And like I said, it starts at home. Look, I understand he's a child. It's like he's old enough to know right from wrong. It's hard for me to believe that this is his first game. It could have been. And maybe he just got caught up in the moment. But no, you can't do that.
I know. And Russ's comments are like eye for an eye comments, like he says sometimes we need to do what we need to do to protect ourselves. So he's like, hey, if you're going to shove me, I'm going to shove you back.
And that's the thing. And Russ, Russ also said they'll say things to you in that arena that if they saw you walking the street and you were walking the street, they wouldn't utter those things.
No.
But because they're in the building, they have the confines. They're like, okay, because these same people like, oh, hey, how you doing? Oh, I love you. Can I get a picture? But as soon as you get to the arena,
I agree.
You know what? Your mom did.
Well, they're empowered by the fact that 18,000 people are with them or whatever, right?
I like that Russ came out and said something about it.
There
And
you go,
hopefully
Russ.
it will
I
serve
like
as
Russ.
a reminder.
I do too.
That is just
I
not
did like how it
acceptable.
came off, and I think it's a good lesson learned for
Russ
everybody
should've did,
watching.
What Russ should have done, like, that's a child. You not. I'm going to whip you. For your son.
I don't think that would have ended
I'll
as
whip
well.
you for your son's actions.
That would have wiped the smile off his face.
Exactly.
All right, back to LeBron. Will NBA superstars want to avoid playing with him?
No.
We're going to discuss all this next.